So let's check in with the Maroons now. Assistant coach Nate Myles joins us. Nate, the Blues have tried to light the fuse. Are you banana vendors buying in or what?
Yes, we're buying in, Ray.
Oh, I knew that was going to be short and sharp from you. How's it been? How's the prep been? Obviously, I think you went to Melbourne yesterday. You're coming off that win in game one. How are you feeling, Nate, heading into game two, buddy?
Mate, really good. Look, our prep's been pretty perfect at the moment. You know, coming down to Melbourne, our boys are from the north, mate, so it's a little bit chilly, but you know we had a good prep again today. Had a good feeling out of the G at the MCG, and hopefully turn it into a win again.
Hey Nate, it's Gordy. Tell us, what's the feeling on the camp on the New South Wales changes? Do you think it's a stronger squad overall?
Oh, look, I think they had a fantastic side in the first game, Gordy. So, you know, we don't take it easy with any team that they pick. We understand the attributes these players have, and we try and work hard towards nullifying that. So, look, if we don't, consistently turn up and play our game of football, kick long, and try and march them down the field, it's going to be a long night for us.
Nate, Paul Crawley here. I want to ask you about the glass houses and try and get as honest as I can out of you, because the fact is that New South Wales have almost used this as a motivational thing to make out almost like they were the victims in this. And I'd imagine privately Queensland wouldn't feel that way, especially because you had your fullback taken out of the game illegally after 7 minutes. And we all saw your reaction on the sideline. So it was obvious there was genuine feeling there, and I don't imagine that just disappears.
It evaporates into thin air, mate, just like that was a fact.
Is that it?
Well, just on Reece Walsh, Nate, what are you anticipating? Do we expect Reece to play a different style of game, or does the collision and the heavy hit that he suffered in game one doesn't even matter? He just goes out and plays the game that we all know that he can play.
Look, we'd be silly to ask him to do something he hasn't done before, right? So the point for Reece being in the side is what he's done prior to the first game and coming into our camp, and what we think and what Billy thinks that he can do for the team. So we go and ask him to do something different. That'd be quite silly coaching on it now, and we want him to play his game. We want him to get into the game, work into it, and do his bit for the team.
Hey, Queensland haven't had the greatest record at the MCG. Have we changed the game plan a little bit to make sure that we have more success tomorrow night?
Yeah, for sure. Look, we look at them records, mate. They're the things we want to look at. You know, they're the things we want to try and beat and break, mate. So, you know, we want our boys just to get in front of their footy. We want them to play some good football, good style of football. You know, there was occasions in the first game where we actually didn't do that. You know, there were a lot more opportunities than we found, and you know, we'll be looking to do that again. So, look, the game starts fiery, and we're expecting that to happen again. You know, we probably started a little bit fast in the first game, and then a little bit slow in the second half. So, we'll be trying to pick it up for the whole 80.
How does a bloke like you look at the performances of guys like Lindsay Collins in game one, Ruben Cotter, Pat Carrigan, mate? They must make you feel very proud, because they stand up against a New South Wales pack that, you know, they had the size advantage and everything like that, but your guys just go and they go for 80 minutes.
Yeah, look, it's an absolute pleasure to be around them legends during camp, and I call them legends because they're physical attributes, mate. They're superior athletes, and they're willing to go to that next level for each other, and that's what I like about them. You've got Rubes, you've got Paddy. Everyone's pretty appreciative of what Lindsay Collins does as a front rower, and you know we see these guys get better being around each other, and that's what we ask for them to do on game night and during the week is build into that, but make sure they keep on improving as a team.
Nate, we have had so much focus on Reece Walsh.
I'm very lucky to be retired, mate, because they're pretty good athletes.
We've had so much focus on Reece Walsh, but for the Blues, they have a pretty special fullback as well in Dylan Edwards. How do you nullify his best attributes, his running game?
Mate, he's a great player. There's no reason to, for us to overlook what he can do and what he does for the Penrith Panthers. You know, everyone knows how fit he is and how much he likes to run the ball, and he's always there in cover defence. So what we're probably going to try and do, mate, is kick away from him, get him out of the game, and hopefully he just doesn't want to get involved.
Hey, Milesy, I know you're cheeky. I've known you for long enough now. Are you going to be a good boy on the sideline tomorrow night?
Mate, I'm always a good boy. I was actually quite hurt. They said I swore, Braith. I don't swear,
Oh,
mate.
you don't swear. I know you better than that. Well,
Then
good
make
luck.
sure you close the curtains in those glass houses we live in.
Well, mate, truth be told, Billy's got a terrific house, mate, and a lot of glass in it. So.
I can only imagine he's got a farm with a few horses as well. Now, good luck tomorrow night in closing out the series. Good win in game one, and good luck to the Maroons, buddy.
Braith, that must hurt you, big fella. I love you, mate.
Yeah, it does. I love you too, unfortunately. All right, let's jump across to the Blues camp now. Assistant coach John Cartwright is standing by. Carty, a must-win game tomorrow. What's the intensity been like in camp the last 24 hours?
Oh, look, the whole camp's stepped up a notch, Braith. Normally the way in Origin, the first one, there's a lot of new players getting together. And by the end of that camp, I thought, I was very confident going into the game. Things didn't go our way, but just another 10 days under our belt. I can sense that there is a desperation. It's a must-win game, and I think they've come together very nicely.
Carty, there are a couple of fresh faces for Origin 2. Who's impressed you the most throughout the week?
Connor Watson's is a bouncy character. I've really enjoyed him coming into the team. I think the reason Madge has picked him is to provide a bit of spark and speed. He certainly does that. He's a live wire on the field and off the field. Mitch has been very professional in what he's had to do. He's had a taste of it before. Dylan had that most of that week in the first camp, so that probably, in hindsight, is a really good preparation for him as well. But it's been pretty seamless, mate. Having that week last week and only having a few new guys come in, it's worked well for us.
Hey, Carty, it's Gordy. Tell us, obviously you're talking about new faces. What about the familiar faces of the Broncos? What sort of balance is it of giving up their secrets and all their weaknesses because you coach them, week to week to win a competition?
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing, mate, when they get to this level, there's not a lot of weaknesses to exploit. Whilst he's just on his day, he's brilliant. It's just time and space with him. And Paddy, he's as tough as any guy going around. So it's again, try and meet him, match him, and it comes down to individuals, I suppose, mate. Paddy's probably the leading middle forward in the game at the moment, and he's built that over the last couple of years. So it's a great challenge for the guys that are up against him to, play against the best and beat the best.
Carty, Paul Crawley here, mate. What about Payne Haas? He's copped a little bit of criticism. I think Brett Kenny might have come out on the radio over the weekend and said he was a bit disappointed with Haas's game in game one. You see him every week and his work ethic and how much he can get through. What about Origin? Where do you think he's at?
Look, Paul, I think the expectation on Payne is the problem there. He's every week at club level. He just, he's an 8 or 9 out of 10 every week. He's just through his work rate, through how effective he is, how big minutes he can play, and he does get through that at Origin level. Unfortunately, New South Wales haven't been as successful since Payne's been in the team. So that doesn't come down to Payne. That comes down to a group thing. For us, it's look, we lost that first one. Who knows what would have happened if we didn't get that, the send-off in the first 10 minutes. No one will know that. But we get a chance to put that right in the second one.
Carty, Dave Riccio, you mentioned time and space in relation to Reece Walsh and what the Blues need to do to shut him down. All eyes are going to be watching as soon as he touches the footy the first time in this Origin 2 clash. What do the Blues do differently at all, or is it the exact same game plan?
The game plan won't change. It's the execution, Dave. We're probably going to talk about that incident for a long time. There was certainly no intention to damage Reece or cause him any sort of injury. It was just, it was a tackle that went wrong. If we got it right every single week, we'd have no send-offs and we'd have no sin bins. But we see them every week. Players are human. They make things go wrong in the game. And that was just one of those incidents.
Carty, you said just before, it's hard to know what would have happened if you had 13 players on the field there for game one. Going into game two, what have you got to be better at? What's it going to take for you, the New South Wales Blues, to beat Queensland?
I just think those Origin moments, mate, where the guys that are, we talk about guys that are made for State of Origin. It doesn't mean you have to have played 20 or 30 games to do it. You know, if someone can jump out of the ground tomorrow and catch onto one of those moments, we're going to be talking about them as Origin players. You know, there were moments in the first game when we got back to 20-10 where there was really decisive moments and it went Queensland's way. If it had been our way, if one of our boys had jumped up and grabbed it, we'd be talking about them in a different light. So, for me, mate, it's going to be look, it's a State of Origin game. It's a must-win for New South Wales. Queensland would love to put us away in two. So it's about when those moments present themselves, whether you've had one game or whether you've had 20 games, just standing up and grabbing the moment.
Carty, we know that there's nothing between these two sides. History shows that every Origin match goes down to the wire. What about goal kicking for the Blues? You've got some options. Mitch Moses or Zach Lomax? Who takes the tee?
All three of them were kicking today, so I think Madge he'll talk to the three boys who were kicking. Latrell was kicking today as well. I don't think they missed one between them, so we're spoilt for choice there.
Well, Carty, thanks for joining us so close to the game. You've got the whole of New South Wales behind you. Wish all the boys the best of luck and go and get that win so we can go to the decider.
Thanks very much, lads.